Watch it from.
Let's get into the newsathon clips for Thursday. Thursday we normally have newsathon clips that we react to, and I do very minor commentary because I save it for our Friday and Saturday clips. So we're gonna jump right into it. Shout out to Reese Waters, man. Reese Waters is a channel favorite. We have reacted to Reese on the channel here a couple of times. So shout out to Reese. He covers Stephen A. Smith came for Jasmine Crockett and got himself benched. People have been talking about this. Yeah, I'm subscribed to Reese. Shout out to you, Reese. People have been talking about this. A lot of people weren't happy with Stephen A. But we're going to take a look at exactly what did he say, what got people riled up. Reese covered it great, masterfully, but we're not going to watch all of it. So let's just take a listen. Make sure the volume is good for you guys right here. So we're gonna watch a couple minutes of it, not all of it. It's about a 39-minute clip. Shout out to Reese, man. He covered this crazy. So we're gonna watch a couple minutes of this and then we're gonna move on. All right, let's check out why the internet's going crazy over Stephen A. Smith. One second, guys. Let's do this.
Don't forget to like the video. I am Reese Waters, and I am having a very bad day. I'm in the mood. When you say get something for yourself, will that include a two-piece from LeBron immediately after the Lakers game? No. Hell no.
Yo, shout out to Reese Waters again, man. Reese Waters covers this stuff great. And when he acts like he's talking to the person, it's some of the best parts. So let's take a listen.
This is Who Raised Joe, where we highlight those unique individuals going above and beyond to make society worse.
I'm just going to go off about Trump, cuss him out every chance I get, say the most derogatory, incendiary things imaginable, and that's my day's work. That ain't work.
You know, the kinds of people you'll see asking to speak to the manager at the pearly gates.
Say goodbye to your reading glasses, computer glasses, and even your sunglasses. Introducing the last pair of glasses you'll ever need, featuring revolutionary German optical technology with automatic focus adjustment. No more expensive eye exams or long waits for new glasses. These patented liquid crystal lenses adjust in milliseconds, providing crystal clear vision whether you're looking at your phone or a distant sign. Plus, they block 99.9% of harmful blue light, ensuring your eyes stay fresh all day. Outdoors, they instantly switch to sunglasses mode, shielding your eyes from harsh glare. The frames are crafted from 6-gram aerospace-grade titanium, so light you'll forget they're there. Sweat-resistant and durable, they last up to 50 years and won't slip during intense activity. Normally, such advanced technology comes at a high price, but for our website launch, we're offering an incredible 50% discount. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty. This launch price is strictly limited to the first 99 pairs, and demand is skyrocketing. Stop wasting time and money. One pair of glasses, all your needs. Click the link below to secure your 50% discount before stock runs out.
Come on, bro.
I want to talk to the manager.
Now here I was, minding my own business, watching reruns of Maury, when I see this.
However, Jasmine Crockett chooses to express herself, I'm like, is that going to help your district in Texas? Aren't you there to find a way to get stuff done as opposed to just being an impediment to what Trump wants? How much work goes into that? I'm just going to go off about Trump, cuss him out every chance I get, say the most derogatory, incendiary things imaginable, and that's my day's work. That ain't work. Work is saying, that's the man in power. I know what his agenda is. I'm not exactly in a position to stop him since the Republicans have the Senate and the House. But maybe if I'm willing to work with this man, I might get something out of it for my constituency. Because like Joe Manchin said, he's there to represent, or was there for 15 years to represent, the people of West Virginia. She's supposed to be there to represent the people of Texas.
Oh, you mean this Jasmine Crockett?
It seems like everything that is important, this child ain't read the bill and has no idea of what's going on. I don't understand why Georgia keeps sending her to DC, but this is not the first time that she wasn't quite clear on what damage it was that her party was ushering in. But listen, I will take her seeing the light at any point in time. And so, yeah, it's sad that she can only see the light when it directly impacts her because she is elected to represent almost 1 million people. And so not listening to your constituents as they're calling and they're talking about their struggles, but then making it about your children, your adult children, because their premiums are going to go up. Listen, I'll take a yes vote or somebody coming to the table, whatever way I can get it. But I just don't believe that that's how government is supposed to work. I don't have any children. When I am governing for the people that elected me. And I don't think that I should be looking at it and thinking, well, because this personally is going to impact me, then maybe I should flip how I feel about it.
I don't know. Maybe that just sounds ignorant because it's so simple. But it ain't that damn complicated. We make it complicated.
No, it sounds ignorant for a whole lot more reasons than that. Starting with the fact that you ceded that they don't have the House or the Senate, but she's supposed to be running roughshod through Capitol Hill, getting things done for her constituents. You know, the ones who she's constantly mentioning and advocating for alongside the rest of America, because we've definitely heard her advocate for people other than her constituents. But the approach that you are suggesting is to say, well, I know where he comes from. I know what his agenda is. What can I do specifically for my constituents that would go alongside his agenda? In other words, the Lisa Murkowski of it all. He basically just outlined how to be a turncoat in 2 minutes or less. That is what you're advocating for. And by the way, let's talk about the man who she's supposed to be working with. You mean the same guy that's actively threatening to arrest the mayor of Chicago and the governor of Illinois for protecting the sovereignty of their state and city while projecting an image of Chicago, by the way, and also Portland that can't be supported by any facts.
Alternative facts.
Leaving us to no other conclusion than he wants a military presence. And the only reason why it's not active in Portland right now is he was stopped by a judge that he appointed. And then he said he wasn't served well by the people that appointed judges. So if they don't agree with his agenda, it must be something nefarious. And certainly you have somebody else to blame, because any right-minded person would go along with whatever it is that Trump has to say. Even went further to say that the pushback that he's receiving from lawmakers is because they're being threatened and they're scared. Does that sound like somebody that wants to work with literally anybody? Work with Trump? Oh, you mean the guy that was tweeting out racist memes in the days before the government shut down? Did it seem like when he was posting the mustache and the sombrero memes, he was trying to work with Democrats? How about when he set out the Trump 2028 hats, which I'm sure you have one already, Stephen A. How about when he set out the Trump 2028 hats on the desk for a photo op when Jeffries and Schumer came in? Did that seem like Did that seem like he was trying to work with the Democrats at all? Like, had any interest in working with them at all? I think Slava Medvedenko and Kwame Brown have more interest in working with you than Trump has in working with the Democrats. You're talking about the woman who's trying to make sure that federal workers get back pay after Trump mysteriously said, we'll take care of our people. Some people shouldn't get taken care of. And that was after he had made the comment when asked about when the federal cuts were going to take place, immediately changed the subject to the president's Walk of Fame. Now, here's what's wild about this, because what you are advocating is the antithesis of your approach to players who end up on the wrong side of the stat line your entire career. Like, if your approach was what you were advocating for, how can I get something for myself, Stephen A. Smith, while covering the NBA? What is it that I have to say to get something for myself? I mean, I know they're paying me to do a job and call it like I see it and use my judgment and adhere to the principles of my chosen profession. But how about I just go and figure out what I can get for myself? Is that what you've been doing this entire time? Because that would inform a whole lot of things, Stephen A. Please say more.
I am having a very bad day. I'm in no mood.
When you say get something for yourself, will that include a two-piece from LeBron immediately after the Lakers game?
No. Hell no.
Stephen A. Smith comes for Jasmine Crockett's neck, but black folks online aren't having it.
I thought this headline was
Stephen A.
crazy.
Smith is making headlines after calling out Democrats and Jasmine Crockett again. Oh, and by the way, we'll get there. Yeah. This man got more smoke for the Democrats than he got for Kevin Durant. Sports commentator Stephen A. Smith is known for his polarizing political views that often land him in hot water. He's being accused of being MAGA many times, and his latest assessment of Texas Rep. Jasmine Crockett certainly has people debating online where exactly his loyalty lies. On a recent episode of Smith's podcast, he called out Democrats, including Crockett by name, for sympathizing with black voters in order to paint Republicans as the bad guys. For Smith, the main issues for black people have nothing to do with racism. Woo! Oh, man. That train is never late. That train is... How long are we into this video? I was wondering But no, because if it was a regular black MAGA, we would have started here. But this is a decoy situation. So that's why it was buried a little bit deep. So the biggest issues with black America is not racism. Let me guess. The culture. Am I right? He said, what it's really about is us not strategizing, playing checkers instead of chess, letting our emotions instead of facts lead the way, and letting that guide us to express ourselves in ways that serve to alienate the very people who can help us. I get that. Yeah, I get that. Alienating the people that can help us, like a platinum plan, or something like that. Hey, whatever happened with Tim Scott's minority business development? Because I think that would be helpful. That is winning. Well, at least we have positive black role models to look up to, all throughout the government and the military and whatnot. I'm sure you had a lot to say about that. According to the radio personality, politicians like Crockett can't help black people like they promised. Many black folks reacted to Smith's remarks, calling him out for trying to appease MAGA. On X, Charles Mommy wrote, Smith is a B per usual. She continued, he'll never be with his people, so we should stop expecting him not to be a POS. Wow. Then we get this from Dr. Martin Pratt. Wow. Lies. Jasmine is known for her work ethic, just as he is known for loudness and apologies. And user Funky Weezy said, "Bruh, stick to sports and leave that woman."
So it looks like I'm gonna stop it there. A couple of people who like Jasmine Crockett came after Stephen A. Smith for some of the stuff that he had to say. And this has been going on the last couple of days because Stephen A. Smith feels like where Jasmine Crockett is at professionally, that some of the things she does and says it's not for her benefit, right? It's not beneficial for her. I don't disagree with him, right? There's lots of people who like Jasmine Crockett who support her, who think she's very intelligent. But I get what Stephen A. Smith is saying. I guess he's saying sometimes, when she kind of goes off a little bit, maybe after being upset or frustrated with the people she's dealing with, she's kind of making a spectacle of herself. At least the media is, to some extent, with the way that they portray her when she's just expressing how she feels. That's how Stephen A. Smith is trying to put it out there. But to the black community, the culture is coming out like, nah, man, like you are Uncle Tom. You coming out like you bootlegging. Like, don't say stuff like that about Jasmine Crockett. So I see why he's been getting it. It's been the last couple of days. And it's probably going to continue to happen. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and switch to the next video. Sticking with Reese Waters. I love the way he covered this. I got a chance to watch this in its entirety. It's 39 minutes, but we're not going to watch the whole thing. We watched 10 minutes of the last clip, probably about 10 minutes of this clip as well. Shout out to Reese Waters again for great content. Vivek Ramaswamy is not buying the MAGA, is not enjoying the MAGA experience. Vivek Ramaswamy is not enjoying the MAGA experience.
Pale September.
In a full face of conspicuous makeup, rendering him 3 shades lighter than normal, current candidate for Ohio Governor Vivek Ramaswamy took the stage at a Montana State University Turning Point USA event.
Reese, don't come for the makeup, Reese.
I thought he looked a little different. I thought he was sick. But I thought he looked a little bit different.
All right, so I'm not gonna lie. This says Racist of the Week. This is a little segment that Reese has on the channel. I don't agree with everything that Reese says, right? But I'm okay with disagreeing to agree with people. I love it. I think we have our own opinions and we can do that. And I think we can remain adults and friends or allies even if we agree to disagree. Here's where I think that Reese did have a point, because even in the comments, I actually got a chance to watch this clip where Vivek was at Turning Point. Even in the comments, you do have people saying things like, Vivek, I'm so sorry you experienced this overt racism. You don't deserve that. No one deserves it. Like, you have people saying that in the comment section. And on the same note, you have people saying things like, look at Vivek wearing makeup. He thinks he's white. Look at, why don't they just deport this Indian already? And I'm thinking to myself, do people know Vivek was born here? I just think it's hilarious. But it's just the level of ignorance, arrogance that I'm seeing, just based on, his color and some of the things that people say to him. Now, I happen to like Vivek. I happen to be a fan of him. He doesn't bother me. Like, I like what he stands for. I like some of his policy and legislation. I'm a Christian. I know Vivek is a Hindu. That is not the same thing. We do not believe in the same God. We don't worship the same God. Vivek does not believe in one universal God, because that's not what Hinduism is. And with all of that being said, it doesn't matter to me when it comes to policy and legislation. As a politician, I like Vivek, right? It's not about us going to church on Sunday. Vivek is not a Christian, so I wouldn't hold him to Christian standard. But I just see where some of it is coming from when it comes to him, because a lot of people say he gets a lot of racial slurs towards him and his family. And at first, I guess you could say I was really naive to it. I wasn't paying it a lot of attention, but over the last year and a half, I've seen a lot more of it. I mean, literally, when the guy was just out on 4th of July with his family, some of the stupidity I saw under his post, I was like, wow. So, yeah, but I will say this. Me and Reese don't agree wholeheartedly on this segment here. He's going to choose the Racist of the Week to be Turning Point USA, and he's going to go to their conversation with Vivek when he was at TPUSA. Here's what I will say. I don't think that they were attacking Vivek being Indian. Now, this is just me. I think that they were attacking Vivek being a Hindu. This is, now, you do hear one of the younger gentlemen say, like, you being an Indian, you being a Hindu. I don't think it has anything with him. I don't think it has anything to do with him being an Indian, because Vivek was born here. Now, how assimilated he is, and I use that word because a lot of people will come here and be here for 10, 15, 25, 35 years, and they will stay just amongst their people and do nothing more. I don't think we see that with Vivek. He's extremely assimilated. I mean, he's in the U.S. government. He's went to some of the finest schools. He's very articulate. He articulates himself well. I mean, Ann Coulter's crazy, but she was ignorant enough on air to say she wouldn't vote for him for president because he's Indian. So, yeah, if someone says, okay, Q, so you just said, but you did. Okay, when I say that, I don't think it's just because of that, because they are bringing up a lot of the fact that you are a Hindu, so how can you represent this nation if this is a Christian nation? It's one of the first times that I saw so many younger people speak in reference to America being a Christian nation, right? So, as they say, shout out to the Charlie Kirk effect, because that's pretty crazy. That's not something I really saw Gen Z doing a lot, and I'm seeing it a lot more, and it's pretty bold. And yeah, shout out to them for that. But, so yeah, I take that back. I do think it is because he is Indian, but I think it is also, a lot of it is also leaning toward the fact that he's Hindu, and they don't like that either. So they're asking, like, how can you represent even the state of Ohio? And the state of Ohio majority is Christian, right? They're not literally saying that they're American or they're white, but you have people that are saying that's what they're saying, even though they're not saying it, right? So let's take a look at the way Reese covered this.
Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. I am Reese Waters, and this is Racist of the Week, where we explore the stupidity and hypocrisy of discrimination in hopes we can build a more perfect union. And also laugh. As usual, I would like to thank today's sponsor, Racism. And of course, if you have any nominees, you can drop them in the comments. You can email me at admin@reesewaters.com. Today's nominee, Turning Point USA. But before we get to them, Vivek. Hey, Vivek, let me holler at you. Now, I got to deal with you first. What's this?
Just got to Montana. Did a beautiful hike. Thinking a little bit about what I want to say tonight in Montana State. Charlie, my last conversation was about what does it mean to be an American? I think we'll pick up where he and I left off.
Didn't I tell you to stay out of red country? Huh? I told you to stay out of MAGA country. They done already told you what it is.
You're so bright and articulate, and I guess I can call you articulate since you're not an American black. Oh, and I agreed with many, many things you said during, in fact, probably more than most other candidates when you were running for president, but I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian.
What, bitch? What?
And if you're going to go out there, the last thing you want to do is post it on social media, because you know what happens when you post on social media. Here's a photo he posted of his son on the beach, to which the response was teaching son to poop on the beach. Here you got another photo with your kids, to which the response is, why don't Americans deport this Indian, amongst others? We don't even have to look at old posts. We can just look at the comments under this post. You realize what you are to them right now, right, little bro? I often go for hikes in a polo shirt. Why not, I don't know, come to Ohio for one day? No, don't say that. Because it don't go any better for him in Ohio neither. Oof, even I felt bad for Vivek. I'm not a fan of his, but he did not deserve the overt racism he received. No one deserves that. See, I told you. I don't know how many times we gotta have this conversation, Vivek. I mean, really, I just, sometimes I feel like you are masochistic. You are a racist of the week masochist. You just enjoy being down here. You like my company? Is that what it is? How many of these have been collected, either given to you or have been given out because of what was done to you? You should sponsor this whole bit. All right, run the clip.
Jesus Christ is God, and there's no other God. He's part of the Holy Trinity, and any other God is a demon, and it's false. How can you represent the constituents of Ohio who are 64% Christian if you are not a part of that faith?
he didn't say, this is what I believe. He called your God a demon. Okay? Bruh, hey, the levels of, he called your God a demon. Like one of the characters on Saturday morning cartoons. Like you pray to one of the people that used to come out the cave on Masters of the Universe. He-Man. He called your God
is crazy,
a
man.
demon. He said your God be doing donuts in the 7-Eleven parking lot at 3 in the morning. He said your God be looking to trap dudes for child support. I think your God is what turned that lady into a frog in that failed Black Disney movie.
If you are an Indian, a Hindu, coming from a different culture, different religion than those who founded this country, those who grew this country, built this country, made this country the beautiful thing that it is today, what are you conserving? You are bringing change. I'll be 100% honest with you. Christianity is the one truth.
Too bad it was nobody in the audience to object to build this country. That's just what nobody stood up and objected to build this country. Okay, because we got a narrow camera view, but I feel like I know who all was there. We all missed it.
Christian voices should be the main voice of America, and I want to know basically why you seem to be, and I don't mean to be horribly offensive, but why you seem to be masquerading as a Christian.
She didn't mean to be horribly offensive. She didn't mean it. You can't get mad. You can't get mad. She did not mean to be horribly offensive. I don't mean to be horribly offensive, but why are you masquerading as a decent man?
I'm a decent man from the city of demons.
I don't mean to be horribly offensive, but why are you masquerading as somebody I would be even remotely interested in?
You serious?
I think that was what's on his, I think, because she said masquerade, so I think that, because he looked a little, oh, we'll get there? Okay.
Familiar with the 10 Commandments? You call yourself a Hindu, but you also call yourself Christian.
I don't call myself Christian. I call myself a Hindu. I'm not running to be pastor of Ohio. I'm running to be governor of Ohio, and I didn't run to be pastor of America. I ran to be president of the United States of America. What's your faith?
I'm a Christian. Follower of Jesus.
Great. Do you believe in the Holy Trinity? The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit?
I think a lot of people here do. So.
Good. And that doesn't make you a polytheist, does it?
Probably not, no.
Great. And so in my faith, I believe there's one true God. He resides in all of us, and he appears in different forms, but it's one true God. So I'm an ethical monotheist.
Hey, Vivek, the other dude said he was a demon. So you might want to, you might want to put that in there, you know what I mean? I'm just telling you what he said.
Do you think it's inappropriate for someone who's a Hindu to be, say, a U.S. president?
No, I think it's... No, well...
To be honest.
Isn't Hinduism...
Because you're an Indian.
As you can ask yourself, that Hinduism believes in Shiva and, what is it, the flute god, I forgot.
Right, Krishna, who's you're thinking of? Yeah, Krishna.
This man said the flute god. This man... Do all the instruments have one? I prefer the French horn. Yeah, French horn. Who's the French horn? All right, get back to me on that one. This man said the flute god. And note the pause when he was asked, do you think it's inappropriate for a Hindu to be president? No, what? Are we videotaping this? Is this a live stream?
But isn't Charlie Kirk's organization founded on Christian values as well? And isn't the United States of America also, based on what Protestantism is, and based on how those values are, wouldn't that contradict what your beliefs are?
Like I said, I'm not here to justify my faith to you any more than you are to me, but what I do share is the value set this country was founded on. And I think that it's really important that we not reinvent the founding of this country and what it was actually all about.
See, Vivek, that's why we drag you all the time. That is why we drag you all the time. because they actively reinvent the founding of this country regularly. Like their pushback against CRT or actual realistic retellings and recreations of the founding of this country. Yes, that's something you're perfectly fine with. But now it's a problem because you being asked about the flute god and the demon that you have up in your home. Now it's a problem. See, that's why, you know what I mean? That's why we always having these conversations. Surprise, Vivek Ramaswamy's Turning Point event derailed by racism. Event attendees asked Ramaswamy why he felt he could be the governor of Ohio even though he isn't Christian. And for the record, this isn't the first time that they have hidden their bigotry behind religion. With Vivek.
At Planet Fitness, there's strength in numbers. The number of different workouts to do.
Throughout the course of the lecture, we talked an awful lot about God and faith. And there were some men that come up here and they ask you about your Hindu religion, but my suspicion is if they didn't mention that, you would have omitted who that God was throughout the course of the entire lecture.
He makes a great point
most
here.
of the people in this
stop it after this
room here would leave thinking you were talking about the only true God, Jesus Christ. And God has a name, and Hinduism is a wicked pagan religion. And it's completely incompatible with America. Everyone in this entire room is a Christian. They believe in Jesus Christ. And you've attempted to create this parallel, however tenuously, between Christian principles, Christian moral principles, and these Hindu values. And you look in sacred scripture and you see that all the gods of the Gentiles are devils, and there's only one name under heaven that can give you salvation. So my big question is, and you've talked about being forthright and transparent, my suspicion is that you would have omitted who that God was when you were speaking here tonight, had you not explicitly been asked about Hinduism. So my challenge, I guess, to you going forward would be to say who this God is. Is it Wahaguru, the one that was blasphemously prayed to at the RNC? Is it one of these other Hindu deities? Or is it our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? So that's my question and challenge to you.
And if you thought that the right wing was going to pick Vivek up and protect him from the bigotry, Nick Fuentes, Jesus Christ is God. Oh, Valentina Gomez, you know she's going to pick me.
It says, Vivek, you didn't answer his question. You dodged it and deviated to Thomas Jefferson. Smart, but we're not falling for it. The United States is a Christian nation, and we don't worship pagan gods. One nation under God.
Vivek, you didn't answer his question. You dodged it and deviated to Thomas Jefferson. Smart, but we're not falling for it. The United States is a Christian nation, and we don't worship pagan gods. One nation under God. This lady said pagan gods.
Yes, Reese, pagan.
Yeah. Like they out here worshiping people from Lord of the Rings or something. Like,
some people are, Reese.
And this is and she be killing it on Twitter on the right wing.
Let me stop that right there. Shout out to Reese Waters. Guys, go over to Reese's channel and finish that up. It's titled Vivek Ramaswamy is not enjoying his MAGA experience, even though I do believe that he is. All right, moving right along. We have Stephen A. Smith and Jasmine Crockett. This blows up in his face. Shout out to TYT Sports. Let's take a listen.
It's interesting that he chose Jasmine Crockett. Now, she doesn't serve in any leadership position. She's in the minority party. I wonder why he didn't single out, for instance, the President of the United States. And is he serving his constituents, the people that voted for him, by, I don't know, attacking a comedian and maligning the comedian, or maligning the opposition, the Democratic Party, or rambling in front of generals and the Navy? How is his constituents served? Does he serve his constituents like Mike Johnson, who constantly calls recesses so he won't have to deal of the matters of Congress? Or Jim Jordan, who's been in Congress for 18 years and never has written one piece of legislation? So why would it be her that you would single out? Her job to represent a constituency. When you're in the opposition party, the minority party, your job is to object and to be loud, to be a fly in the orbit, to come up with the works. She's doing what it is she has the power to do, what's in her capacity to do, what's in her bandwidth to do.
D.L. Hughley is not pleased with this guy.
I just disagree on what she's making headlines for, because I think it's counterproductive to the ultimate goal. But yet, here we are, and the word disrespect comes in, and people try to engage with words, like disrespect and implying misogyny and all of this other nonsense. Stop it. Can we just say, yo, Stephen A., I disagree with you. Here's why. We got Willie D. Put up that quote, please. He putting out quotes or text or tweets about me. Let's see that again.
Honestly, I tried the new bearskin hoodie, and here's the truth. This fleece is thick. It's made from 340 GSM of bearskin fleece, which is super warm, wind blocking, and regulates body heat like a beast.
You need the new 340 GSM military grade bearskin hoodie to get comfortable in the wild. It's the ultimate 10-pocket tactical hoodie that blocks wind, repels rain, and regulates heat for incredible comfort wherever.
Stephen A. Smith taking shots at Jasmine Crockett ain't just messy, it's weak. Dude is sitting on one of the biggest mics in America, and instead of using it to uplift, he's tearing down a black woman who's out here putting in real work. That ain't critique, that's betrayal. Jasmine Crockett ain't the problem. She's the kind of woman who walks into rooms full of snakes and makes the snakes flinch. Meanwhile, Stephen's showing what happens when a paycheck gets louder than the principal. That sucker, straight up, end quote. Wow, Willie D. You sure are uplifting. I mean, I got to be touched. That was inspirational. Really, that really was. That was inspirational.
Because he called her out.
To touch on something, because I know that many of you prepared for today's hearing by making sure that you got a little bit of information about immigrants and crime in your cities. Let me ask each of the mayors, just yes or no, have any of you been made aware of any immigrant that has had 34 felony convictions that has still been able to roam around in your cities? Anyone?
No, ma'am.
34 felony convictions from the immigrants. Anybody?
I'm not aware.
Oh, okay. I'm just curious because we are so concerned about crime, and I know that my Republican colleagues would never want anybody with 34 felony convictions roaming around because that could be a danger to the community, but I will move on.
Texas Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett.
He's got to deal with black woman issues
Oh my
at
God.
large, and whatever self-hate exists within them.
It's self-hate.
I've never seen a clip of him where he actually praises a black woman.
That's what I'm saying. He's got a black woman issue he's got to deal with. But
For those who are listening, that was Stephen A. Smith commentating about Jasmine Crockett's lack of work. For context, there was a poll that was recently done, and Jasmine Crockett's approval numbers amongst the American people rival Barack Obama's in 2008. So just for context, he is on an island unto himself because people see her largely working on our behalf. And I also want to say, we recently had Jasmine Crockett on. It was on my solo pod. And Jasmine is on the show talking about having to go get fit for a bulletproof vest. So this is not the time for this.
I will tell you that there is a through line between the Ice Cubes and the Jason Whitlocks and the Stephen A. Smiths. And these individuals, and Ice Cube may be slightly different than the other two, but these individuals have been around since we have been on this freedom struggle. There have always been individuals out there which exhibit behaviors of charlatans who utilize, some people are in it for the change and some people are in it for the change, right? And I think that that's indicative. And they find the easiest path to the front of the line. And Stephen A. Smith is someone who doesn't have the depth to talk about House oversight or the appropriations process, right? And how you're able to bring resources back to your community or what Jasmine is doing. So he rather lampoon her or instead of having a constructive conversation. And so I've said what I've had to say about Stephen A. Smith in my book anywhere I can. I don't have a lot of use for him in the political dialogue. I think that I think that there are individuals who he matriculated with at Winston-Salem State University that are extremely disappointed about the man he's become.
From Native Land Pod.
I like how she tells how she honestly feels about that.
Okay.
Okay. They can say whatever they want. Why she can't say what she wants?
Yes,
and I would say, you said Stephen A. is in hot water. Stephen A. is not in hot water. Because this is exactly what he does. He says things and people respond to it. He is provocative. He gets the people going, right? It's all content. Everybody just making content. So it makes for good conversation. Now, as far as what he said about Jasmine Crockett, and me and Stephen A. spoke about this behind the scenes this week, but I don't think any elected official is above critique, but you got to criticize their policy. And it seems like Stephen A. is criticizing her style. And if you are criticizing her style and telling her she needs to change her style to be able to get things done, but also saying that, also telling her to do that and get things done with one of the most uncouth political figures ever in Donald Trump, then I got to say that, you bugging, all right? Trump talks crazy. So you can't call out Jasmine for allegedly talking crazy, his words, but not Trump. And I also believe that, Tamika Mallory and Bakari Sellers, they need to have a conversation with Stephen A. They should go on Stephen A's show and explain to him why playing nice with Trump doesn't work. But if you don't agree with Jasmine Crockett, and you're telling Jasmine Crockett she needs to talk a certain way to be able to work with Trump, who talk crazier than Donald Trump?
To Charlemagne and the Breakfast Club.
I do take issue, Rick, with the fact that why would he come after Jasmine Crockett and not go after Hakeem Jeffries? And like his approach to his anger was more about her stylistic approach than it was about leadership. And I just think that often Stephen A. and some other brothers in particular find it easier going after women than they do going after men. But the interesting thing is being loud and brash, and in some cases confrontational, is exactly what got Stephen A. Smith the $25 million he got. And so he's lambashing somebody who is doing their job, who is representing the people, who is standing up, who is being brave, who is being courageous for a stylistic approach that's exactly like his damn approach. And so the hypocrisy of it, and especially just with, I just am tired of seeing brothers go after sisters and they won't go after men. If you want to attack somebody in the Democratic Party about not working with Trump or about not doing what you think makes sense, even though it doesn't make sense, then why aren't you engaging Hakeem Jeffries? Why aren't you engaging Schumer? Why aren't you engaging those that actually have a leadership position within the Democratic Party?
Jeff Johnson on Ricky Smiley's YouTube page.
He has selective journalistic prosecutorial skills and abilities. He's a selective journalistic prosecutor. He selectively and almost exclusively, journalistically and verbally attacks magically melanated, AKA black people. So what he said about Jasmine Crockett, I'm not surprised. Because you can't say that about her and ignore all the other things that politicians say and do and show you. But that's what he does. That's why he got that money. But he don't understand the Most High gave him that money. I keep telling people Proverbs 29 and 26. Many seek the ruler's favor, but every man's judgment comes from the Lord, the Most High. So he's seeking the ruler's favor, but I understand the real ruler is the one that's giving him his blessings. And the real ruler is the one that'll take it back if you don't straighten out. So that's what he does, man. That's why he got that money.
Did it with Doc Holliday, who, let's be clear, has been critiquing Stephen A. Smith for years now. Look, y'all come for the truth. All right, so here it is. I think that there are many reasons to criticize anyone, including Jasmine Crockett. We should not stand our politicians. We should hold them accountable. Many will think that this network loves, let's say, a Bernie Sanders or an Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. No. Me personally, they're close to being more leftist, but still not there. They do not fit the ideal mold. But what just strikes me is someone like Stephen A. Smith going after Jasmine Crockett because of the way that she speaks. Like, she's a lawmaker, she's an attorney, accomplished black woman, and you're putting her down because of her rhetoric? And the critiques from a few folks that we heard are essentially that she is in the minority party, you are in the opposition party, you are in the powerless party. Yes, that is true. And there are ways to muck it up. There are ways to make headlines. There are ways to have certain things go mainstream in order to push back against the party in power. That is what she's trying to do a lot of the time. She is not perfect. No one is. But when you have no power, you have to try and create a form of leverage. And Stephen A. going after her this way just feels foul. It just does. It feels like a person who says this would also state that we have to find a way to maneuver in the media space because he's coming after media. So what we should do is bend the knee to fascism. That's what it sounds like. Oh, wait a minute. He said that a few weeks ago. That's what he said. Reading between the lines, that is exactly what he said. So I'm not surprised by any of this. I'm not surprised by anything that Stephen A. says at this point, because all he is an opportunist. He's a man who tries his best at every turn to stay in the limelight. And now, sadly,
And this is a lot of people's opinion. You know, we gotta let people have their own opinion about Stephen A., whether we agree with it or not. Whether we agree with it or not, we're gonna watch both sides on the channel. I always say that. All right, guys, let's go to our last clip of live stream. Shout out to Track. Let me see the Track Stars, because I watched it. Yeah, Track Stars. Okay, I must be subscribed to them on my main channel. All right, guys. So shout out to Track Stars. We got what Robert Morris' conviction reveals about church power. So Pastor Robert Morris, if you guys don't know, he is the lead. He was the lead pastor of Gateway Church. Due to allegations that came out, the thing took place about probably more than 25, 30 years now. But I believe in some states there was no statute of limitation, so he ended up serving 6 months in prison, which I was a little shocked about. But yes, nonetheless, they are going to talk about Pastor Robert Morris's conviction. Let's take a listen.
Gateway Church in South Lake will spend 6 months in jail after pleading guilty to 5 child sex crimes.
Robert Morris entered his plea in an Oklahoma courtroom. He must also register as a sex offender and pay restitution to his victim.
Defense attorneys said he pleaded guilty because he wanted to accept responsibility for his conduct and give his accuser, Cindy Clemishire, and her family finality. Clemishire was there in court and said today is a new beginning.
Clemishire says the abuse started in the 1980s when she was just 12 years old and continued for several years. In June of last year, Morris resigned from Gateway Church after the allegations were made public. In March, he was indicted in Oklahoma on 5 counts of lewd or indecent acts with a child. Morris's time in court isn't over yet. He's still involved in 2 other pending lawsuits. Clemishire filed a lawsuit against Morris and the Gateway Church elders, alleging they knew about the abuse and covered it up. And another one was filed by Morris against Gateway Church to get millions of dollars in retirement pay. Gateway denies that Morris is owed money, but Morris disagrees, alleging it is part of his contract.
Yeah, to me, this one was more disgusting than the Diddy situation. And it's because this is a professed man of God that allowed something to go on for this long from the 80s that you knew you were guilty of, that you didn't come forward with. So the question would be, even if he, in his own mind, asked for forgiveness, did he ever really receive it? If he wasn't able to own up to it, did he ever even forgive himself?
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? Like, just to come out this late with it and plead guilty now that this young lady has had years and years, decades of trauma behind it.
He didn't wait till he got caught to say something. He really was offended. He would have said something before the lady come out and said something. Now the scandal came out. Now you would have increased. Right.
Exactly.
White Christian. I don't know, man. Like, messing with kids, bro. You a grown man. And this the dude, if I'm not mistaken, he don't want to be going to like Michael Todd Church and all this kind of stuff, like raising money, doing like the offerings and stuff like that.
I don't know anything about him.
Yeah.
I know Gateway Church though.
Yeah. He that's sick, bro.
6 months though.
Yeah,
6 months.
6 months. That's what I'm saying.
Nothing.
That's a
So
slap on the wrist.
Diddy got people who came to willingly. I ain't justifying Diddy. He got people
Right,
who
right.
willingly came and had
Yeah.
sex, and he got 4 years.
Yeah.
This man been molesting kids since the 80s and got 6 months.
Multiple.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's another conversation.
Count.
Wait, so my question is how is he, is there a new case or how did that?
He been messing with this girl for years. She finally got the courage to speak up and say something.
No, but what I'm saying for years, like, so she was, he said in the
Started in the 80s.
in the 80s
And for years.
for years. So is it there's a statute of limitation on how long you've been messing with children or no?
No, it can't be.
Okay, because I was trying to figure that out. Like, did she just say, hey, I'm a
Yeah, on that kind of stuff anyway. Because Bill Cosby, when that person came out on Bill Cosby, how long ago was that?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying.
So when it comes down to sexual assault, it ain't no statute of limitation on
Oh,
sexual assault.
got you. Okay, because I was trying to figure that out. I thought it was like, she was a child. That's crazy.
I want to know how you can sit up there and preach to a congregation every Sunday you messing with kids behind the scenes.
Right.
Like, I know everybody got stuff they're working on, but it's one thing if you're struggling with sin, you going to God, you waging war with it, you like, God, help me come out of this, like you acknowledging your sin. But you up there just smiling, shaking hands, kissing babies, doing all this stuff, meanwhile you molesting kids in the background. Like, that's just sick.
I wonder if there's more children. Like, I know they said
There's more cases coming out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like recent cases.
Yeah,
like,
more,
not like.
I don't know how recent. They said more cases coming out because all it takes is one person to show the boldness to come out.
Yeah.
Now other folks like, man, he got me too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now they feel like they got a community of people that gonna support him. You know what I'm saying?
Is this in Texas?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Okay.
Yeah, this was disturbing on so many levels. One, because 6 months is nothing. 6 months is nothing, and the fact that he's got more lumen, hopefully those will be the ones that he gets. He gets the right.
He out walking around chilling. You know what I'm saying? It's
That's the part, yeah.
And suing familiars for
exactly.
retirement.
This the entitlement.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm about to say something.
I think the question here's the question too. Is like, how far is the person that, like, do you want payment from this guy or do you want to make sure he's behind bars? Because to me, it's like that.
Both of them.
Both ends.
BOFFUL. Both of them. You need to go to jail and you need to pay me.
Yeah.
Because I did hear the restitution. How do you pay her restitution? Like, what is that equivalent to? And even like we saying 6 months is not enough. Even if you pay her, it's like, what is proper restitution for this?
Right. It's not enough.
Like what is though? It's like I don't even know.
Yeah, because
we'll find a nice round number. You know what I'm saying? While you in jail, we'll accumulate. You know what I'm saying? A nice number. Like,
I always wonder about victims like that and what they feel after the restitution has been paid. You still got to pick up the pieces. You still got to, release that trauma. Does it even help?
It's a lot easier than $1 million.
Because she's gonna probably see that man again if she live in that same area. Because once he get out, right? He gets out. He's probably not gonna, unless he decides to say, I'm gonna leave the city. I'm gonna leave Oklahoma. But his name now is everywhere. Like, I've seen it on every Christian thing. So I don't know if he's gonna be able to preach again. Like, so I don't know.
No, we not. He shouldn't even be expecting that.
Right.
Some pastors do.
This should be.
Anything is possible in this day and age. Children.
This should be.
Anything is possible in this day and age.
Some folks have like a level of grace that's beyond our comprehension.
This should be retirement, ride into the wind, and you on some ranch somewhere until the good Lord calls you home. Like, that's what this should be. It shouldn't be. I mean, I wouldn't even be thinking public appearances anymore.
Whatever money he's suing the church for, you can sue him for that.
Also, you say the church.
And see, that's the part that bothers me. That's the part that tells me, like, man, why are you suing the church when you know that you made the mistake? But then here's the thing too, like, it doesn't feel like you are remorseful before God if you still feel like you got to get something out of this. Like, that didn't make sense to me. Like, if I made the mistake and you took everything from me, okay, I made the mistake. You know what I'm saying? I get it. And I wouldn't want to, I don't want to play Christian in front of anybody. I don't want to play Christian in front of people or in front of God any kind of way. So if I'm really not remorseful about something that I did,
you're a wolf. You're a wolf.
Yeah.
That's just calling it like it is. You're a wolf. You praying on kids. You praying on your members. You praying on people. You're not showing no remorse, no kind of repentance. You just walking around smiling like it's all good, and then want to fix your mind to sue somebody like you the victim. Like, you're a wolf, bro.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Somebody said you guys need to do research on the stopper. He lives in an affluent area of Texas.
But the cases are in Oklahoma. That was the cases.
But I mean, at the same time, like Maya said, like we've seen people do crazy things and they still preaching. So now they preaching in jail, they preaching. I mean, that's your gift. Like unfortunately, that's your gift that God's given to you. So
he might minister to other people who play with kids.
Yeah.
But no, say like being real, like I don't want to hear nothing you got to say, bro. You can play.
First of all, I just want to make sure you say, because right now it don't sound like it. It don't sound like you're repentant, and it's been going on for decades.
Yeah.
And it's only coming to the light because you get caught. So I'm like, literally, I'm again concerned about the state of your soul. Do you know the Lord?
Yeah.
Because you could have easily been up here on this pulpit preaching to tens of thousands of people with no kind of relationship. Seriously.
Well, the fact that you're not convicted every Sunday when you get in that pulpit, that's the big problem.
Yeah.
You're not convicted, and you're still walking around holding your wife's hand, looking at your kids in the face.
Do you know the Lord? Because the Holy Spirit convicts.
Yeah.
The Holy Spirit convicts.
Yeah.
Since the 80s, you ain't felt enough conviction since the 80s to say I'm gonna step down. But now all of a sudden, now when she speak out, I want to just sit down.
That's 40 years ago.
Thoughts. Man, get out.
40 years ago.
40 years, bro, you ain't feel no conviction.
That's
wolf,
crazy.
bro.
That's crazy.
Concerns. I might have taken him down that Roman road because he needs for real. Like
you lucky he didn't get knocked out. He messing with folks' kids.
Yeah.
Here's how savvy investors are getting the government to send them tax checks.
This is a hidden gem that people don't know about.
If you're like me, I worked for 40 years, I'm still working.
All right, shout out to Trackstar. So yeah, that's it for Pastor Robert Morris. He's going through that. Ended up getting 6 months. Sad thing for a lot of people. See, Gateway Church is a pretty big sized church, you know. And I watched Pastor Robert Morris for a couple of years, for lots of years actually. Lots at least for the time that I saw him. So well over, I would say 6 years, and 7 years probably actually. And it was a sad thing to see. It was a lot of mixed emotion from the church. But like Pastor Robert Morris said, he wants to put it behind him. I believe part of the reason he's suing the church, though, is because that's something going on with his retirement. Which, as much as people think, like, you know, oh, this is a disgusting, grotesque incident, he shouldn't be able to get any type of money. You know, his retirement would be separate from that, unless that's something that the victim was entitled to go after, which right now we don't know that. So that would be something separate with Gateway Church, and that's why he's suing the church, because he believes that he's owed millions in retirement because it was part of his contract, and they are saying no, that's actually not true. So we will keep up with that. Tomorrow we will cover some more of that on the daily live stream. I will see you guys tomorrow for the daily live stream. Thank you for stopping by and chilling with me on the corner. So until tomorrow, guys, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Love yourselves, love one another, and be peaceful. And don't forget to share Jesus with someone. See you guys next time. Peace.